Well, I've run out of t-shirts, Teen, so I'm having to recycle some of the old ones.
Oh,
Back
but
back to Pink Floyd.
yeah, but you know what they say, Norm, that often the old is the best.
Oh yeah, I can testify to that. What are we going to talk about today, Teen?
We're going to talk about retiring with no money.
And we came up with this bright idea because of the popularity of our recent video, Can You Retire on 300,000?
Yes.
So we thought, how could you top that? Well, obviously lots of people have no savings.
Yeah,
So we've worked out some numbers and we
yeah.
have two strategies to retire with no money. Just quick work and anyway, we'll get into that.
To that later. So, if you are new to our channel, we are Tina and Norm, and we talk all things retirement and lifestyle and travel and anything else that people ask us to chat about.
Recently, we had been getting more and more requests from people who wanted to send us stuff. And we'd never thought about it.
No.
Over the last 3 years, we've had quite a few people wanting to do that. There was
Yeah.
somebody
Oh,
when we got our trailer.
yes, I remember that, Norm. Somebody wanted to send us a candle, which we thought was really a lovely idea, but we had nowhere to send it to, did we?
No, we had no mechanism to do that.
For that.
So we have established a business address,
Yes.
and they have kindly agreed to forward on anything that's sent to that business address to us. So we have that in our description of this video and in our about page.
Right. So
anyway, Teen, can you retire with no savings, no nest egg?
we believe you can.
We do.
Yes.
It's a little bit technical, but we'll
Yeah.
try not to get too technical. We want to have this as a broad
Yeah.
concept so that if you're in this situation, you might be able to then take some of these facts, Google it, and do your own thing. Before I get into it, Tina and I just want to say to everybody, we are not financial advisors.
No.
We are not licensed financial advisors, and we are not giving you financial advice.
No.
This is purely for entertainment purposes only, and for us all to have a great conversation in the comments section.
Yes.
So, you might be in your late 50s, possibly early 60s, and you have nothing saved for retirement for whatever reason. Is it possible to retire with no money, or are you destined to work for the rest of your life? The first concept, you're young, in your 50s, early 60s. Why don't you consider claiming the Canadian pension plan at 60 that you can currently do? If you're an American, why don't you consider claiming Social Security at 62? You know you're going to be continuing to work because you've already convinced yourself in your own mind you can't retire. So continue working, and each month take the CPP or the Social Security and open a tax-free savings account, not a pension plan, but a tax-sheltered savings account, like a Roth IRA in the US or a TFSA in Canada. We had invested in bank stocks, hadn't we, Tim?
We have, yeah.
And they get a really good rate of return.
Yeah, nice and steady, aren't they?
They're late 4% to 5% return, and they pay those dividends quarterly. So every month, deposit your check from the pension plan into your tax-free savings account, buy the stocks, and continue to buy the stocks each month. Maybe vary them. We like bank stocks, Canadian bank stocks, and Canadian telecoms, to give a few examples. By the end of the first year, the average person that's earning around 48 to 50,000 will have amassed, with dividends, around $9,000. In the US, it's going to be substantially more because you're going to be getting $2,200. So for the Canadian, you're going to be around 9,000, and then next year another 9,000 plus whatever is accrued because of compounding. So there's 18,000. If you do that for 5 years, you now have 45,000 plus all the dividends and a nice little nest egg that you could perhaps consider retiring and having that as your safety net. Following on from that, Tina has a great example which goes on from when you get past 65 to maybe late 60s. So what's your theory, Tina?
Well, I bumped into a friend of ours the other day who actually currently is 69, and I was kind of just joking around about retiring, and our friend said that they couldn't retire because they didn't have any money. And I thought, you know, wow, I came back to...
That's sad, isn't
and
it?
I said to Norm, that is really sad that somebody can't retire because they feel they have no money. So I said, we need to really look into this.
So what do you think the solution is, Tina?
Well, I think, let's say, for example, as Norm used before, let's say your salary was, say, 48,000 a year. You do have all the costs involved for working. You're maybe going to have 2 cars in the household. You're going to have to buy lunches. You're going to have to buy clothing and all this sort of thing. There are quite large expenses through when
There
you're
is,
working.
yeah.
But we looked at if you were to stop working, but look at what's available for, I'm going to say, low income earners.
Yeah.
And so there is OAS and GIS, and there is...
Should we say what those are, Tina, just to
Okay.
help folks out?
Okay,
So we've got GIS, which is...
the Guaranteed Income Supplement.
And then OAS, which is the Old Age
Age
Security.
Security.
These are Canadian.
These are Canadian. And also, as Norm was talking about, the CPP, Canada Pension Plan.
Right.
So we looked at some of these numbers for somebody, and
And we wanted to do it specifically for a single person because
Yes, this
we've had a
time.
lot of requests for that in our comments. And we do believe that a lot of single people maybe haven't got any savings.
so what we came up with, we found looking on the government sites, was that actually the average OAS and GIS was just under 1,000 a month, and the average CPP was over 700. So we're talking about, if you add those two together, you have 1,700 a month. Now, there are lots of other things available. In Ontario, we have the Trillium. This is an amount that you can get each month. There is also GST rebates, which I think that one's maybe quarterly.
Quarterly, yeah.
And so we were looking at this maybe 3 or 4 extra things that you can get per month.
So some of them are like the carbon,
I forgot. Yeah,
the
the
carbon
carbon.
rebate that the government is giving. Now everybody gets that.
Yeah.
But what we're saying is that Tina was saying you've got the CPP, the OAS, and the Guaranteed Income Supplement, which is a low income top up. With all those other extras,
Added
and
to
if you're
them.
getting GIS in Ontario, you get free dental care as well. So
Yeah.
basically, you're adding maybe another 400 a month.
To that 1,700.
That's right. So now we're at
So,
2,100. Tina also made a good point earlier on today as we were discussing this subject. You might be paying into a medical plan with your employer, and that's taking money away from you. The other thing you can do is if you're working in retirement and you pass 65, you can make an election to stop paying CPP. So once again, your paycheck will go up a little bit more.
And I think also, when you mentioned, Norm, about people paying for their medical with the work, once you're over 65, this is in Canada, we only have to pay the first $100 for prescriptions and drugs, and after that, everything is free. So we're thinking that could save you a lot of money too.
And we also get a free eye test every year as well. Now, if you're in the US, the as everybody says, the elephant in the room is the healthcare premiums, and we do get that.
Yes.
So you might have some difficult decisions to make in retirement in the US, but there are a number of states in the US that do have low-income healthcare plan premiums, and so maybe it's worth exploring that.
Yeah, even if it means you might have to move to another state. We've got lots of our viewers who we're hearing from that are moving from state to state to save money. And
So summing up, yes, you're not going to be living a rock star lifestyle. Maybe you could afford the T-shirt, but you know what? It's doable.
It
but
is. We believe so, don't we?
You could downsize like we did.
Yeah.
Sell stuff that you don't want on Craigslist or on Facebook Marketplace. Put that into your tax-free savings account as well. Get rid of the second car. If you got a car payment, pay it off, or sell the car, trade it for a cheaper one. And if you're in an expensive housing area, move to a cheaper town. You can do it.
Yeah.
So what do we think, Teen?
We think it's possible. Yeah.
So just take these broad concepts. If you need any additional information, we encourage you to go to a professional financial advisor and outline what you have heard here today and see if you can make it work. So anybody, we hope everybody is staying safe.
And keeping well.
And until the next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.